Hi everyone, I'm Tanaz from Forever Conscious, and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of January 12th. We are making our way through 2020. We have had some power days so far. In fact, today being the 12th is one of them. But let me go back a little bit because this all kick-started with the lunar eclipse that we had on the 10th or 11th, depending on your time zone. This was a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Cancer. It was watery, emotional, sensitive, and it carries the themes of letting go. All eclipses come, or lunar eclipses come, to clear a path in our lives, and this eclipse was definitely doing that. It's still in effect for the entire month, so you may start to, if you haven't noticed anything yet, you may notice it this week or in the coming weeks. It also carried themes of self-care, needing to nourish the self, being in watery Cancer, maybe needing to retreat within. Also could have highlighted issues in our relationship, especially with our mother, or the mothering qualities that we have, that we give to others that maybe we don't receive, or vice versa. Also might have inspired us to connect deeper with the mother, as in Mother Earth, Mother Moon, and the world around us. And it could have also tested our relationships, or it may still be testing our relationships. If there is something that is no longer serving you, a relationship that is no longer sort of in your best interest or on a part of your highest path moving forward, this eclipse could come to break and release that from your life. This could be a relationship, a romantic one. It could be a job. It could be a relationship with something or someone in your life. So that is the Cancer eclipse. I'm sure all of you felt it in different ways. Definitely, for me, I sort of felt like this build-up of emotion a couple of days before the eclipse. Everything felt kind of heightened. I am in Australia at the moment, spending time with my family. I have a new little nephew, so I've been spending time with him. So I've been surrounded by a lot of family, which is awesome, but also can be a little challenging and kind of exhausting as well. So definitely I have been feeling this Cancer eclipse, in a big way. So it might have obviously shown up in a different way for you. So that was the eclipse. And then on the 11th, we had Uranus going direct. Uranus has been retrograde since August of last year, and now it's moving direct. So that's actually kind of nice. It's going to help start to bring some clarity. Eclipses can also illuminate truths that can be hard to hear, but maybe are important for our growth. So if something has been illuminated and you're wondering, oh gosh, now what? How do I handle this? What do I do? As Uranus kind of speeds up and starts moving direct, and sort of moves out of its sort of sluggish period, which can happen when it first goes direct, you'll start feeling more clarity. You'll start feeling more guidance. You'll start feeling like, I know what to do. I know how to take these changes that have happened in my life and use them in a way to empower me, to strengthen me, to keep me moving forward. So that's kind of nice. And then the next big power alignment actually happens today, but on the 12th. But even though it happens today, we're actually feeling it for the entire year. And we really kind of have been feeling it all through 2019 as well. And that is the Saturn Pluto conjunction. It is exact on January 12th. And then they start to kind of move apart. And then later in the year, because of retrogrades, they'll come back together. Then they'll move apart again, and we'll be done with this alignment. But this doesn't really happen until the end of the year. So it is a big power alignment all through 2020. We got tastes of it last year, but on January 12th, this is the sort of climax point of these two planets. So what is the Saturn-Pluto conjunction? I have written a whole detailed article about it. I'll put a link below. I also talk about it in my yearly energy cosmic forecast video. I'll put a link to that as well. But basically, Saturn, Pluto, they're two kind of, not harsh, I don't want to label them as harsh, but they're kind of heavier planets. They carry a density to them. They bring about amazing change and transformation and growth, which is why when their energy kind of comes together, it can be hard, because in order to achieve that growth and transformation, We have to sort of dig deep, confront our shadows, have things crumble and collapse so we can be reborn. So both of these two planets coming together at the exact same degree of the zodiac, which is a conjunction, they're coming together, they're meeting, is kind of what this energy is all about. Us digging deep, uncovering our shadows so we can be transformed, and this is just in a magnified way. In fact, this energy is magnified in such a way that we actually tend to see it happening on a global level. It's more about our collective consciousness expanding than on a personal level. Definitely we'll feel it on a personal level, but this is something that we're seeing on a global level. And I apologize if you're hearing anything in the background. There are a lot of birds where I am, and so if you hear screeching, that is some bird outside, probably a cockatoo. But so that is what the Saturn-Pluto conjunction is doing. It's helping to shift and raise our collective consciousness, our collective vibration. And when we look to the past, when we look and see what has happened on other Saturn-Pluto conjunctions, because it happens maybe every 33, 38 years, it does sort of seem to align with some ominous world events. And that's not to scare you, but sometimes we need this darkness rising to the surface in order to change our ways and hopefully be reborn to something more aligned, aligned with peace and love and light, and not with fear or terror or, destruction. So hopefully, as a planet, we can all shift in the right direction and elevate ourselves in the right direction. Definitely in the news right now, there are some very concerning things happening. So I really recommend to sort of stay in your light vibration if possible, as much as possible. You don't want to deny how you feel. I think it's really important. And I think if this Cancer lunar eclipse is teaching us anything, it's that all emotions are valid and we're allowed to feel how we feel. But trying to hold that space, trying to hold that light, trying to hold this idea of peace for ourselves, peace for our fellow humans, and peace as well for the planet, because we really need to be looking after our planet as well. So that is the energy for the week. Even though these things have kind of already happened and the Saturn-Pluto conjunction is today, this is what will be guiding us through this week ahead as well. In fact, as I mentioned, the Saturn-Pluto conjunction is something we feel in the undercurrents all year long, but it'll really be highlighted this week. So on a global level, we're being called to transform. On a personal level, we're doing so in smaller ways as well. And with this eclipse, it might be hard to differentiate what's coming from which cosmic alignment, but there's a lot of powerful energy. So make sure you are looking after yourself, you are practicing self-care, and you're using some of that Cancerian energy, which is really about retreating into the self, feeling balanced and aligned in the self, and focusing on where you can nurture yourself and others. I hope that was helpful. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I am Tanaz from foreverconscious.com. Thank you so much.